Southern Africa, home of many wild animals, whether small or big, especially the young animals, are in need of human help. And when the young ones are strong enough, the animal rescuers help them to settle back into the wild. In this episode of Raising Wildlife, Laita checks on Bagheera, an unpredictable black leopard, as well as Nala, a bad-tempered serval kitten who is a lone survivor. Marshall and his eagle have a story about the black market. Then Phoenix, the blind tiger, depends on her other senses, and white rhinos are dehorned to prevent poaching. First, we travel to Moholoholo Rehabilitation Centre in Hoedspruit, near the Kruger Park. Moholoholo offers care and shelter to injured and orphaned wildlife in the region. The rehabilitation station is situated at the foot of the Drakensberg escarpment. The site is also open to the public and offers guided tours to educate its visitors, including cheetah run demonstrations by their four-legged ambassador, Princess. But it's not all fun and games at the farm. Tater Jones, clinic staff member, is on her morning routine. Her demanding schedule includes checking on all her patients twice a day to ensure they're still in good health, as they may fall victim to prowling snakes common to the region. Tater stops at Bagheera, an unpredictable and temperamental juvenile black leopard.
Come, Bagheera. All right, so this is Bagheera. He's 16 months old now. He came in last year, January, at the age of 3 months old. He comes from a breeding project in Middelburg.
The facility housing the leopard closed down, and Bagheera was raised by a human who neglected him.
But we've connected since the day that we've met. He's my little baby. And I think that's what makes our bond so close, because he sees me as his mom. Probably also because I always feed him, so he sees me as food. But that makes him really special to me.
However, his previous mishandling has created trust issues.
So with Bagheera, he might come across as being very sweet, but I do not trust him at all. One moment he'll be really sweet, the next moment he'll want to kill me.
Tater is at risk each time she enters the enclosure, with support staff standing by. Typically, these hunting machines are extremely dangerous. Older leopards can kill within seconds.
Early in their life, within 2 months, they'll have the instinct of wanting to kill something. So if there's a little mouse or something running, instinct will kick in, they'll try and jump on it, kill it. Unfortunately, it takes them a couple of months to learn how to kill the animal.
Leopards typically suffocate their prey by biting their neck and would drag their kill up a tree for safety.
So everything I do with Bagheera, it is positive enforcement. I don't pick him up. If he doesn't want to be with me, I leave him alone. So far, I must say he's pretty chilled at the moment, but it isn't like this at all every day. Today, because it's a pretty hot day, he's pretty chilled, but once it becomes cooler, he'll become more active and aggressive as well.
Bagheera is unique with his black hair, but his rosettes, his circular patterns, are noticeable in the sunlight. Each pattern of rosettes is unique to each leopard.
So many people ask me if Bagheera, a black leopard, is a different species than the normal leopards. They are not. It is called melanism.
Melanism is the development of the dark-colored pigment, melanin, in the skin.
So unfortunately, Bagheera will not be released back into the wild as he is human imprinted.
Which means he is unable to hunt or survive on his own.
All right, now that you've seen my beautiful black beauty, I will be going to my other animals and showing you guys around.
Tater is happy with Bagheera and needs to keep up with her schedule. She now needs to check on her next fosterling, Nala, a serval who can be bad-tempered at times. We travel to Wokutakula Wildlife and Rescue, situated in Moholoholo in the northwest province of South Africa. A once thriving mining town now relies on wildlife conservation and tourism. At Wokutakula, tigers are being protected and rescued from illegal traders. Juan is passionate about his tigers and for the past 5 years has dedicated all his time to their care.
Okay, so now, first of all, I'm going to ask the very, very important tool that I use since they were babies, or when we raise tigers. We call it a tiger gun. And I'm going to ask Bob just to hand me the tiger gun. This is exactly what it is. It's a spray bottle full of water. There you go. It is safe. Tigers hate water directly in their face. So whenever they don't listen, or they have an action that I don't agree with, then I just spray them. And the result is, you'll see. First thing in the morning before I start working with the tigers, of course I am the only handler, I go in and what I call it, I meet and greet them.
When Juan enters the cage, he must determine what mood his tigers are in. The first tiger Juan encounters is Sarah. She was rescued by Juan and his team from illegal traders when she was only days old. And here comes Felix. She's 2 years old now and was also rescued alongside Sarah and the other two tigers.
Because basically what I do now is the meet and greet. This is where it starts. It's very important to feel for any bumps, see if she's got any impaled objects or any wounds. We are living in an area where we've got snakes, and you never know what could have happened during the night. This is Felix, our female blind tiger. She's got an eye condition that's not repairable due to inbreeding in South Africa. So why do they breed them? It's obvious, for the fur farms, for canned hunting, and obviously the bone trade, medicinal value.
Inbreeding had consequences for Felix because over time she has lost 95% of her eyesight. This has made it difficult for her sharing with her siblings.
You can see she's actually very active and busy tiger, saying hello to her sister. So all the other senses are adjusted very, very well.
Felix now relies on her other senses to navigate around her siblings and will remain dependent on Juan for the rest of her life.
So you can see smell already plays a big role in the day-to-day activities.
Felix has adapted despite her blindness, while her sense of hearing and smell are much sharper.
Okay, guys, now we're off to the kitchen, animal kitchen, where we prep their food, and each animal, tiger, gets their food according to different medication. And I'll explain more once we're there.
Let's return to Moholoholo in the province of Limpopo, South Africa, at the base of the magnificent Drakensberg Mountains. This facility is home to many permanent wildlife residents as they're unable to be released back into the bushveld. The site is well equipped to handle all wildlife patients, and reminders are erected of those who've come and gone. Nala, a serval, was rescued at birth, while 2 of her siblings were killed.
I'm on my way to go and check on my serval kitten, Nala, just to see her condition. That's what we do in the morning, and to see how clean her enclosure is.
Nala is still young and requires frequent monitoring, more so than the bigger animals because she's only a few months old. She would normally stay with her mother for at least 12 months. Although she is housed in a cage, Nala does not fully understand her environment yet.
Nala, come girlie. Hello. Hello, girlie. This is Nala. She's a serval kitten. She's about 6 months old now. Nala was born here in captivity at the rehab center. Her mommy is a first-time mommy, which means sometimes with the mummies, when they first give birth the first time, they don't really know how to take care of the babies, then they abandon her. So basically this happened to the 3. There were 3 kittens in total.
Nala's rescuers got to her just in time and immediately rushed her into surgery. She had a gaping wound in her chest.
I call Nala my miracle baby because out of the 2 siblings that she had, she was the only one that survived.
Tata, being a clinic staff member, was involved with Nala's rehabilitation from the beginning. Taking care of the sole survivor was a 24/7 commitment with many sleepless nights.
So servals, basically you'll find them in savanna woodland areas. They basically prey on birds, rodents. They're also really good climbers. Also, servals can jump up to 2 meters high. I've actually seen how they grab a guinea fowl out of the air. That was pretty impressive.
In Nala's case, she will not be able to hunt on her own because she was hand-raised and did not learn hunting skills from her mother.
They always stay close to water areas. You'll always find them in grassy lands where there's water close by. There is occasions where they do also catch fish on the side of the water.
Nala may be small, but she has long legs that give her the edge.
So she's quite a cutie, but she doesn't like to be touched or handled a lot. But otherwise, she's always playful, like she even likes playing with the water.
Nala has overcome the odds and has the opportunity to live out her life here.
I'm happy with Nala's condition, and now I will be going to check on all my other animals.
Later, Marshall, another staff member here at the sanctuary, has to check on his cheeky Butterlear eagle. Let's return to tiger caretaker Juan at Wokutakula Wildlife Rescue in South Africa. There are only a handful of facilities that take care of exotic animals like tigers in South Africa. Juan has made the care of these mighty predators his life's work.
Okay, so now it's the time to prepare the medicine for Felix, and let me show how we do it.
Juan uses whole chickens as the heads and feet help digestion.
So let's start by defeathering the chicken. We don't want a scenario when we do put it over. And one of the other tigers, as I said, get medication that they're not supposed to be given, and then you sit with another problem. Okay, now you can see it's clear, it's clean. This is the terrene mix with the predator powder, and whatever is not in the diet of a tiger that we can't provide is all in this predator powder. Okay, so basically we just put it inside. Okay, by now she's so used to the touch and the feel and the smell. Remember, the other senses must compensate for the fact that she's blind, and this is how we will give it to her, to make sure she gets the full dose of her medication. Okay guys, as I said, this is the only way we will be able to get Felix her medicine. So yes, let's give her medicine.
To ensure Phoenix gets her medication, Juan must first let the sighted tigers eat. That way, when Phoenix gets her medicated food, she'll be able to eat without fighting off the other tigers. Juan has to guide the blind tiger to the food drop.
Okay guys, so as you can see, Phoenix was the last one. She couldn't jump. So that's why we feed the 3 big ones first. So we're sure that she will get the latest one. What we did is we threw it over, and I needed to signal actually by clapping. And she knew the close proximity where to smell and look for it. And then she ran back to safety. And now we're 100% sure. We can tick the box off, got the medication, and we're sure that she and had the right medication for today. Come, Phoenix, come.
Phoenix needs the supplements in her food, as she is fed in captivity and wild meat is not always available. Later, Phoenix protects Juan from the other tigers. Now we travel to Mankwe Wildlife, a private reserve in the northwest province of South Africa. Mankwe's main purpose as a reserve is to educate the public and conduct research studies on its facility. The main body of work is focused on the conservation and preservation of white rhinos in South Africa. Charles Turon knows all too well about the dangers of protecting his rhinoceros in the bush. The calves are often the casualties of illegal trading of rhino horns. Animal caretakers are now researching the benefits of dehorning the endangered giant mammals.
But just to emphasize how brutal these guys are, you can actually see where they've hit with a machete or an axe or something over there. The reality of this is that she was most probably still alive. And good chance she was still fighting. Yeah. It's not pretty.
The research done here enables this mother to raise her calf to maturity while her protectors watch over her.
My name is Sam Penny, and I'm a doctoral student from the University of Brighton, studying how dehorning impacts the behaviour and physiology of rhinoceros.
Dehorning the rhino is a new initiative and seems to be working for all concerned.
The dehorned rhinoceros here behave exactly as we see the horned rhinoceros behaving. So following the procedure, we see them fighting, we see them playing, we see them mating, exactly as the horned rhinoceros also react.
Dehorning a rhino is the same as cutting an overgrown fingernail. It is a painless exercise for the rhino while sedated. However, older rhino are at risk of the procedure. Care must be taken when dehorning.
In terms of the physiology, I've found that there is no real increase or decrease in stress following dehorning. The rhinoceros show pretty much the same behavioral and physiological differences as with the horned rhinoceros.
This is good news for the caretakers and their rhino. All means possible is being done to protect a disappearing species. Charles is taking us to a location where a tragedy occurred, a time he would rather forget. He lost one of his female rhinos here. Still, it serves as a reminder just how real the plight is.
You know, you look at it, and a lot of people will think this is just an animal. But we know them individually. We know their characters. Apart from knowing them individually, you can go to any farm, any place, where they're poaching rhinos, is that the brutality that they do it in, the barbaric way that these guys are killing these animals. Well, 3 years on, you can just see the remains, a bit of skin, a couple of bones strewn around the area. Scavengers have cleaned up. But standing here now and remembering that day and seeing all the blood and the scratching marks and the broken branches and the pain that animal must have gone through and left it to die on its own. Where we're standing at the moment, and nothing can bring that animal back.
Charles knows every effort must be made to protect African wildlife. For now, mother and child are safe in the wild, with their human friends always monitoring their safety. Let's return to Moholoholo Rehabilitation Centre in Limpopo, South Africa. A common threat in this region is the indirect poisoning of birds of prey and the capture of predator birds for the black market. This is a growing problem in the area, and unfortunately, these birds end up here. Marshall is the local expert on eagles. He will explain what is going on in the region and how his birds are educating local communities. Bataleur eagles are predominantly found in Africa and some parts of Arabia.
So basically what he's doing now, that's territorial bird display, he's greeting me basically. With Bataleurs, quite interesting, you can see how his feathers here, his secondary feathers are entirely black. If you look at Chella's over there on the tree, she has a white line and she has a black line as well. That means she's a female. He that has entirely black on his wing here is a male in general. That's how you can tell the difference between male and female of a Bataleur eagle. You can also see how short his tail feathers are. The word Bataleur means basically short or tightrope walker. Tightrope walkers, they always try to catch balance with their hands, and it's also how he flies in there because of his short tail. It always seems like he seems to catch balance. He travels up to 300 kilometers a day.
In the wild, a Bataleur eagle has a lifespan of about 47 years.
If you look at Mr. Chicken's scaly feet, thick skin, it's very scaly as well. What that does, it basically protects him from the snake venom.
This raptor has evolved to meet its territorial demands.
So what I want to do is that eagle to fly to my glove. Her name is Chelis, she's a Bataleur eagle, and we use her to educate the people basically. We go to different meetings at our outreach program, and we bring the animals with us and do kind of a show. We basically can show the little kids in the schools, in the villages, the actual animal that we're talking about, and try to motivate them to conserve those animals as well.
Jealous is a local hero at schools.
This individual, basically what happened to her is an elephant came. Elephants are overpopulated in South Africa. He pushed a tree down where her parents were nesting, and she was still a chick. The tree fell down, she fell out of the nest, and the parents not going to raise that baby animal again. And people brought her in, they found her, and we hand raised her.
Jealous is now a permanent resident at the sanctuary.
We decided in her favor to train her and use her as an ambassador for her own species. She speaks on behalf of the Bataleurs that are out there in the wild.
Marshall is now going to attempt to flight Jealous and demonstrate her wingspan.
Up, up. Good girl, eh? So what they would do in the wild with Jealous, what are you doing, eh? What they would do in the wild with Chalice, they would use her also for witchcraft. So she's very popular on the black market.
There is a growing superstition amongst local communities that are putting these eagles at risk.
And with a lot of birds that can see very far, that have a good eyesight, they believe they can predict the future if they, for example, smoke their brains. And beliefs like that is very common and very often, and it's just how those people are. I mean, in America, you also have Thanksgiving where you slaughter turkeys, which is for those people here. Nonsense, basically.
This is why Marshall and Jealous are talking to the local communities.
Now, hundreds of years ago, what would happen is the people only took as much out of nature as they needed. And nowadays, when money comes into the game, they simply exploit the whole habitat.
The juvenile birds of prey are the ones being threatened by humans.
Chalice, she takes about 7 years to reach that coloration. You can also see her from the back here. 7 years, when she's immature, she's still brown as well.
A Battalier eagle will have a monogamous relationship throughout their lifespan.
Thank you very much. That was Chalice the Battalier eagle. I hope I could teach you something about her. Come, back.
We return to Wokutakula Wildlife and Rescue in the northwest province of South Africa. This region consists mainly of flat areas of scattered trees and grasslands. During winter, the tigers get more to eat. In order to do this, for Felix's sake, Juan moves the siblings into a separate enclosure. This will allow Felix to get to her food first.
We make sure as soon as it gets hotter in summer again, we downscale the food and then they're back to their normal weight that they actually should be. So now we're going to open it. Let's see. I'm going to always let Felix out first. So to make sure that she does get her bowl of food. If not, then just hope I'll guide her and see where we get at, but they will all definitely get their own bowl, and they know it by now, so let me go and open.
This is a very dangerous situation for Juan. He needs to remain alert at all times during feeding. When the tigers are eating, they're in a primal state. One wrong move by Juan could be a trigger for the tigers, and they could attack him.
It's wonderful she got her. There was a hesitation a bit, but she did get a bowl. However, again, now she got the one that actually weighed more than what she should have. Okay, Sina. Khan. Okay, so guys, this is very, very dangerous. They can turn on me anytime. Obviously, they know I'm the one that's giving the food. So if they want more, Eli normally comes and asks for more. I might stimulate any of their senses, and then they might go with me not because they want to, because it's just instinct. Is it you? Okay, you guys, explode. She's still protective, and that's why it's so dangerous. If I was still standing there, she would have gone for me too. These guys, I mean, they look furry and fluffy. They're still very, very wild animals. And they're not called the ultimate killing machines for nothing.
Phoenix, under the supervision of Juan, will always be given preferential treatment, and her siblings are all accommodating for their sister. We return to Moholoholo Rehabilitation Centre as the sub-Saharan sun sets in the west. As the wildlife care facility clears of its tourist trade for the day, inspections are done to ensure non-caretakers have left the area. Volunteers await their instructions on animal duties. After a long hot day, Bagheera waits patiently for his meal, and Nala, the curious Serval kitten, enjoys the last bit of sun. Tata has begun her rounds, starting with Bagheera. Walking into the cage is not advisable with a hungry black leopard. And when temperatures are lower than during the day, Bagheera is more unpredictable. The facility has developed a system where caretakers and animal are both safe.
Come, Bagheera. Come.
Once she's happy the enclosure is safe for him to eat, she moves on. Tata's day is not over yet, and she needs to complete her duties before sunset. Nala is accustomed to this routine and is already on the prowl expecting her meal for the evening. Tata's final task of her day is to attend to her personal aviary of small and medium-sized birds. She's even developed a good relationship with one of her feathered friends, a game of catch. Tata knows all her wild animals are well kept and safe for the evening.